In the heart of 2012, I was in 4th grade. Most of the world, including myself, were raving about pop hits like Gangnam Style, Call Me Maybe, and the release of the first Hunger Games movie. And now you're probably thinking, dude, how does this have anything to do with the fact that housing prices are borderline out of control? And I wouldn't blame you, so let me explain. After the 2008 housing market crash of the United States, housing prices kind of crashed. They crashed so hard that they didn't really fully bottom out until 2011. In 2012, however, something amazing started to happen in that housing prices started to rise. That's continued into today, and rise they did. Here is the price of an average Seattle home in 2012. Now, here is the average price of a home in 2021 in the same city. Now, let's compare that to the United States as a whole in the same time period. We can see very easily that Seattle housing prices have increased a total of nearly 130%, while the average US housing price has only had a 54% increase. This increase has led great entrepreneurial minds to build companies like the one we will be showcasing today. Loftium is a company that was founded by Yifan Zhang and Adam Stell in late 2016. They're both serial entrepreneurs, and they're both long-term Seattleites who saw this issue and wanted to eliminate it one home at a time. So how do they do that? How does Loftium work? Loftium is simply a conduit in which homeowners can live in hub cities like Seattle, Denver, Charlotte, and San Diego with discounted rent through Airbnb services. You lease a home with Loftium that has a separate living space for guests, and the income the Airbnb generates is your rent discount. Shown on their website is a simple diagram of what sort of living situation you can count on. If you don't mind living in cities like Seattle, Denver, or some of the other ones that I mentioned, Loftium could be a great fit for you if you don't mind being an Airbnb host, or if it's something you've always wanted to do and you needed some assistance. They cover a lot of the communication between guests and yourself, handling most of the things like checking in, checking out, and some guest questions. They even furnish the guest suite themselves, offering lots of essentials so you don't have to. You just have to decorate the place, but that's fun. You can make it your own. They provide a smart lock which the guests can use, so that way you never have to worry about the hassle of midnight plane arrivals and early morning checkouts always waking you up. Loftium also offers sort of a renter's assistance program with homes. From what I can tell, this is a completely separate part of the business, even having its own website separate from Loftium.com. This could be a great service for anyone wanting to get out of the apartments and transition into a single-family home with virtually zero changes in your rent payments each month. As long as the home is eligible to be Loftiumified, you would have a great time transitioning into your new lifestyle. Where have they been? To say the least, Loftium has had a difficult time being a startup in 2021. In only their 4th year of operations, the COVID-19 pandemic hit the world and it took the entire world into lockdown. With the rapidly fluctuating housing market, especially during times where everyone had to stay inside, those who wanted to rent with Loftium had a difficult time moving into new cities as traveling was limited. Moving on to the financial side of things, Loftium raised nearly $17.5 million over the course of 3 funding rounds. These funding rounds consisted of 2 that were in 2017 and the third one was in 2019. Even though there is limited information about Loftium's financials, especially online, we can still see who funded in these main rounds. The main contributors found on Crunchbase is Threshold Investments, a real estate investment company, as well as the Founders Co-op, who specializes in startups in the Pacific Northwest, NextView Investments, and Norwest Venture Partners, who invested in the likes of Spotify, Udemy, and Uber. I reached out to Loftium in an attempt to gain more information about the company or possibly set up an interview, however, I didn't get a response. I would have liked to have asked a few questions or at least get a response knowing the email is right on their website. This is something that I think they could improve on, which kind of leads me into the next section of the video. How could Loftium improve? I like to think that I'm a professional problem solver, even if I don't get paid for it, and even if I don't work for the company that I'm trying to improve. Loftium is one of these companies that I really think they could improve in some things, and I'd love to give some suggestions. Although I've made an email marketing campaign for Loftium in the past, which you can find in the description, I wanted to do more. Likewise to many startups, getting your name out there is probably one of the most important things that Loftium can improve on. When you search for rent a home on Google, the first thing you see anything about Loftium is on the 6th page. Now, I'm no expert on search engine optimization, however, I do have some ideas that I think they could improve their SEO with. First of all, the front page is beautiful. The colors, the pictures, the navigation, the font, all of it's wonderful. One thing that I think they could improve on is adding more reviews to their front page, and this is for a few reasons. Most importantly, reviews have keywords. Keywords are the specific phrases that search engines use to dissect any search result into its fundamental ideas, matching it with good results. A second reason is that it would mean more regularly updated content. This is really great for SEO since the more regularly you can update your keywords, the more regularly that potential customers might have their search result matched to your website. Something they could also use is having FAQs on the main page. This would be really great since the only updated FAQs are currently on a subdomain. Lastly, they aren't using social media as well as they could. They have social medias like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, but unfortunately the most recent post on any of these as of today is unfortunately 6 months ago. This is incredibly unfortunate since their Instagram page is absolutely beautiful, packed with great high quality content, videos, pictures, and much more that really engages their potential customers. Clearly there was a lot of effort put into these posts. I just wish they continued this high quality content. Final recap. Altogether, this was an incredibly fun video to research. I loved getting to know Loftium better and coming up with ways to try to improve them. If you want to get to know me better, you can go down below and find my website, my LinkedIn, as well as my email in case you need to reach me directly. Lastly, thanks for watching my video. This is my first video and I plan to make a lot more as part of a big project that I'm working on, which you can also find down below. Until next time, I'll see you later.